Yo, what's good, y'all? We Shara here back with another video for you guys, man. On this great Monday, or whatever day it is. Do it really matter? I don't think so. Today I want to talk about shifting your identity. I named it shifting your identity because since I've started this journey, right, I've thought it was my habits keeping me from elevating. I've thought it was my reason for doing something keeping me from elevating, but in reality it goes within. It reflects your identity, how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself. So on this journey, yes, you need to have a reason for doing stuff because of intentionality. Yes, all of that matters, but when it comes down to really moving in the energy, you have to identify with the energy that you would like to move in. I was wondering why I wasn't keeping up great habits, but falling into old habits. I'm thinking it's my why. ET says you got to find your why. Okay, I got my why. But it's still happening. It's still occurring. Maybe my why isn't strong enough, but maybe I'm still identifying with that old self. So I found my why. I know it's pretty strong, but my identity. I haven't shifted my identity. How do you shift your identity? How I'm shifting my identity. First, I've started to implement affirmations. So I have to get into the habit of saying affirmations daily. That's cliche. Everybody says affirmations, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking it's games. I'm thinking it's people just doing it just to be doing it. But at first, it was cringe for me to do that. And I'm like, I might as well try it. Ain't nothing else working. So I've been in the habit of saying my I am affirmations. I've been getting the habit of journaling, getting my thoughts down on paper, going back and seeing why I'm thinking this certain way or why my actions aren't reflecting the way that I'm thinking, So I went down the rabbit hole of understanding that it's my identity that I keep, my old identity, I keep reverting back to. And it's time to create a new person, create a new identity for myself. And what I didn't know for the longest time is that you were supposed to create your identity. But I've been living not so long, but as I've been living, I didn't know that you had to create your own identity. I've been given my identity from jobs. I've been given my identity from parents. I've been given my identity from family. Like, everybody's been giving me my identity. Society has given me an identity. And I just been walking along with it. Like, ain't nothing, like it's normal. Because it is normal, really. But I'm not fulfilled. I'm not where I think I could be. I'm not in my peak state of happiness, state of peace, right? So I've come to understand that you have to create your own identity. You have to create a positive perception of yourself or perception of myself. So I've used affirmations to do that. I am statements. I am confident. I am decisive. I am, things along that line of where I see myself or see myself moving down the road or now, because I'm doing it now, right? So how am I shifting my identity, and why you should too if you're not moving in a way that you think you should? And it doesn't happen overnight. That belief in self has to be built over time. Just like you created those habits, those old habits, and created that old self that you resonate with and that you continue to move in, it doesn't happen overnight. Those habits, that the way that you speak to yourself, that's ingrained into your subconscious. So now that's you now. So guess what? I talk about reprogramming the subconscious. We have to reprogram the conscious now. You're not that old person. So now we have to identify with the new person we're trying to create, or how we see ourselves moving or being. So we have to first get into silence and identify who that person is. and then make the conscious effort, make the decision to move in that person. Move how that person will move. Move how we will be moving in the future. Okay, so the first way that we're gonna shift our identity or change our identity, how I'm going to do it is, first, we must change the way we think about ourselves. How we think about ourselves. We must change that. Everything starts in the mind. The thought, everything starts with a thought. Creation starts with a thought. You have to have a thought in order to create. So we have to change how we think. It says change your self-perception to reinforce your new identity. Example, I am expressive and a great communicator. First, I have to acknowledge what I want to change or what I want to develop and start moving in that energy. Start claiming that energy upon myself. I'm expressive. So guess what? I'm making videos to communicate with you guys, but also to look back on how I'm developing my communication skills. You see? So, make one change in how you think. Like, I got one of my affirmations is, I keep my body clean inside and out. I keep my vehicles clean inside and out. Like, I've chosen to go down a plant-based route. I've chosen not to eat meat. I've made that decision. So guess what? Now I gotta get educated on health. I gotta get educated on what foods are great for you. I gotta get educated on meat alternatives, you know? I gotta put myself in an uncomfortable position. I made that decision consciously, and now I have to move in it, because I'm a person that completes what he set out to do. So I made that conscious decision to go plant-based, to stop eating meat. So you have to change the way you think. You have to change your self-perception. I am a person that doesn't eat meat, right? So that's how I'm moving now. I have to find different ways to get nutritional value. That's just who I am now. So you have to change. The first thing is have to change the way you think. The second, make one change in your daily routine. Okay, so you don't just, you can go cold turkey. I think I went cold turkey at this point because I tried to transition. I've been transitioning for a while, but I haven't completely transitioned. So I might have to go cold turkey. So one change that I've made was eating more fruit, eating more vegetables, eating more salads. I've always been that healthy type person, but now I'm consciously moving in it. So I'm eating salads. You see my TikToks, I'm eating salads. I'm making plant-based recipes. I'm cooking now. I got a cooker. I'm cooking now. Make one change your daily routine. Okay, so I'm moving in the plant-based energy, right? So I'm eating more salads. I'm eating more fruits. I've always been a fruit person, but now I'm eating more. Sometimes I get tired of eating fruit, but that's who I am now. I'm not putting so much stress on my digestive system every day. I'm not constipated like I used to be. Make one change. I give you another example. Journaling. Being more expressive. I want to be a more communicator, right? So through my research, I've seen that some of the best communicators are also great writers. So I have said, well, I gotta journal anyway to do self-reflection questions and shadow work. You gotta write to do shadow work anyway. So why not practice journaling consistently so I can get better with communicating, get better with improving my vocabulary, and doing the shadow work to heal your inner self. So why not implement journaling? So that's what I do every day. And I've also got an accountability partner. I told her every day I don't journal, that's $10. And right now I ain't got no job. So I still got bills. So that little $10, I ain't gonna say little $10, because now it's a big $10. That $10 every day I don't journal is gonna add up. And it's gonna start hitting me after a while. And I'm gonna force myself to journal. But right now, I got motivation. But as soon as that motivation ends, because motivation isn't everlasting. Your willpower eventually subsides. So me thinking about that $10 in the back of my mind that I gotta pay you for not doing this habit that I said I was gonna do, it's gonna make me do it, right? So make one change in your daily routine. My change is to journal, to write every day, whether it be a little bit or a lot. Doing something, 1% every day is how we expand over 20 years, 1% a day. Oh yeah, change how you stay accountable. It's hard keeping yourself accountable, bro. It's really hard. It don't matter unless you like David Goggins or somebody. But bro, I ain't gonna say you need, but it's good to have external accountability. I've tried to do it without external accountability, but it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. That willpower eventually subsides, like I said. You're gonna need somebody to keep you accountable. How you punish yourself, that's on you. I chose the $10, that's just what I chose. But you have to change the way you keep yourself accountable. And now I've chosen to do that externally now, since I'm good by myself, but I can go to another. That's like Jamal King says, he works out, but he needs a coach. He has 2 coaches to keep him pushing, because you can only go so far. You can only go to a ceiling when you're doing it yourself. So when you have that business coach, when you have that gym coach, when you have a mentor, they're gonna keep you moving. They're gonna keep you striving, because we can cap ourselves and we hit this ceiling. Boom, 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 boom. We can hit this ceiling and we won't see the results that we were seeing when we first started. So we need that external accountability, right? So accountability, external accountability if you need it, but you want to keep track of what you're doing, your habits. You want to keep track of all that. So when you see when you don't see the results you want to get, you can go back and look at your numbers. Like Will Lane said, you gotta look at your numbers. You gotta keep stuff tracked. So I had to go out and get me some accountability partners, and I had to. You gotta do what you gotta do in order to elevate. So make one change in your daily routine. Change how you stay accountable, and change the way you think. It starts with the mind. The thought. Everything in creation starts with a thought. In order to believe in a new identity, we must prove it to ourselves. So if we're tracking our progress, we can go back in the past and say, hey, I did that. I've overcame that plateau I hit at the gym. I was repping 225 for 3 years, but now over the last 2 weeks, I'm now at 230 for 2 reps. You can go back and see your progress. You're making progress now. So when you're making progress, you can be like, when you get down bad, when you're not feeling your best, you can go in the cookie jar, like David Goggins says. You go in the cookie jar, and whenever things get hard, you can go back and say, hey, I did that. I did that 225. I did that 230 for 2 reps. What's stopping me from going to 245 in the next 2 weeks? We need those experiences in order to keep us moving forward, because we're not going to always have that external accountability. Sometimes we got to go in that cookie jar and get some experiences that we've overcame in the past to keep us moving forward. I've read from Atomic Habits. It says, outcomes are what you get. Process is about what you do. My process is journaling. The outcome is I want to become a better communicator. He says identity is about what you believe. So I've been journaling for the last 2 years, and I've been doing YouTube for the last year. So I must be a great communicator. I must be getting better at communicating. I must be a good speaker. I must be a good conversationalist. Well, getting better at being a conversationalist now. So outcome goals is what you get. My outcome goal is to get a brand new car. That could be a goal. You can have process goals. I want to backtest 6 hours this week, working on my craft. I want to weld for 6 hours this week, working on my craft, getting better. And identity is about what you believe. So if I've been welding for 6 hours every day for the last 3 years, then I must be a darn good welder, right? So we have to have those outcome goals, those process goals, and we have to change the way we see ourselves. We have to change our perspectives on how we move. I got another excerpt. It says, we can't outperform our identity. We must create someone new. I don't know who said this in the video. I think his name, I don't remember what his name is. It got this chart. It got the most inner part of the chart is your identity. Then it goes to stories. Then it goes to your beliefs. Then it goes to your habits. Then it goes to your actions. So we start sometimes, me, myself, I do these actions. I try to make these actions using willpower. But after so long, that willpower is gonna run out. And so guess what? The action stops. We try to turn those actions into habits. But if that willpower has stopped, then we can't form the habit. Okay, so beneath habits, we got the beliefs. So if we build these habits through these actions, then we start believing in ourselves, because we've been doing it so long, it's second nature now. So one of the beliefs is stories. Okay, we got the past experiences of us overcoming things, so we've created stories about the beliefs, about the habits, about the actions. So we built all these stories. So you got a story, now you got a book. The book is your identity. Oh, that's tough. The book is your identity now. So you have a book full of these stories about you. Boom, boom, pages of your life. So now you want to create a new book. You want to create a new identity. So guess what? You got to start with your intentionality when you first writing a book. I want to create this new person. I want to be this new person, because we're being, not doing. I want to be this new person. So now we start writing these stories. Then we start believing. Then we start having habits. Then we start, our actions reflect our identity. So that's a cool little analogy I just came up with. You're shifting your identity. Right now, really the whole December, I've just been trying to figure out who I am and where I'm going. So I've come to the conclusion that I got to change my identity if I want to get to this new version of myself, this best version of myself. So I encourage you guys to find out who you are, find out where you're going, find out what your truth is. Shout out to Soul. Check out Immortal Minds YouTube channel. So I've been trying to create my identity. Now I'm becoming this new version of myself. So I had to go down to the drawing board, create my affirmations, say my affirmations, move in the energy that person is, so I can become that best version of myself. So I encourage you guys to get on that journey to finding really who you are and where you want to go. That's what it comes down to. I encourage you guys to put in that work. This hard, I ain't gonna lie. The affirmations and journaling is not hard, but creating the best version of yourself, creating new beliefs about yourself, it's hard, I ain't gonna lie. That's why I ain't really been posting, because I've been trying to lock in with myself. So I encourage you guys to do that. Really see what's going on inside you. See how you gonna make that next step, make those decisions, and really move in a God energy and source energy. So I appreciate you guys for watching, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.